Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Welcome to my new lectures. Today we will discuss about the receptors and pharmacology. Now, what are receptors? Receptors can be defined as these are the specific or particular macromolecular components of the cells when binds with the ligands produce positive or negative biological response. So receptors are actually, these are the macromolecule, these are protein in nature, and these are the components of the cell. When they are bind with the ligands, mean drugs, that will produce some positive or negative biological response. Now where these receptors are present, where these receptors are situated, so these receptors are usually found on the surface or inside the cell. So look at here, this is cell membranes, this is the cell membrane, the membrane which is surrounded by the cell, and these are the receptor sites, these are the receptor sites, and with the drug are binds. Look at here, these are the drug molecule locking onto a receptor site to form a drug receptor complex. Now these are the terms which are used usually in pharmacology. So what is affinity of drug? Affinity, before studying affinity, so you must will have to clear your concept about the receptor. So if receptor is clear, then each and everything will be easily you can easily understand it. So affinity can be defined as the inherence or the natural ability of a drug to bind with the receptors. Affinity means it is the tendency, it is the capability or power of a drug to bind with the receptors. This is called affinity of a drug. How much the drug is capable to bind with the receptors. As we have already discussed about receptors. The second one is efficacy, or you can say intrinsic activity. Now what is efficacy or intrinsic activity of drug? So this is the natural tendency or capability of a drug to produce a physiological response. It means that this drug possesses efficacy. This drug is efficient to perform some activity. This drug is able, this drug have the power, potential, this drug have the capability to produce a physiological response. It means the drug is powerful. It has the tendency to show some physiological response. While the third one is potency. Potency can be defined as an expression of the activity of a drug and the term of the concentration or the amount of needed to produce a defined effect. So potency can be defined in the term of activity of the drug. Let's suppose pharmacologically low dose of a drug is more potent than higher dose, and high dose it become toxic. So in this case, the expression of activity of a drug in the term of concentrations or the amount, or you can say the quantity of a drug that produce a particular response to produce a defined effect. Now it means, let's suppose if you are going to exceed the concentration of drug, so it definitely the adverse drug reaction, the side effects, it will be automatically increases. So that's why low dose of a drug is more potent than higher doses. Look at here is the relationship between potency and efficacy. So look at here, this is on this side, this is effect, and these are log ligands, and here this is potency, and here this is efficacy. So look at here, this is log E50, so effective dose, and this is 50%. Now here look at, this is the maximal effect, which is 100%. So it means on this side it shows efficacy, and here this is potency. It means, look at the graph. This is the now here in this conditions, this is what potency and efficacy, and these are the effects. This is drug C, and this one is drug A, and this one is drug B, and this one is drug D. So look at here, so potency and efficacy in the term of, so it mean the speaker it has reached here. So it means that you can say that let's suppose if a drug which has let's suppose low dose of a drug is more potent than higher dose, as I have already mentioned here. Now efficacy we have already defined efficacy, that how much the drug is affect you. So you will have to maintain the concentration of the drug in the plasma. So these are, it mean that look at here, look at this peak drug A, and this is drug C, and this is drug B, and this is drug D. So this is the maximal effect which is shown by the different drugs, especially in the term of potency and efficacy. Now what drug can do? All the drug can do is it may make the physiological activity of the body on molecules, or it can block the physiological activity of the body on cells. All the drug can do. So there will be definitely, it will produce its effects. So it may be in the form of either it will mimic the physiological activity of their own molecules. It means that it will enhance the physiological activity of the body own molecule, or it will stop or block the physiological activity. So it will block the physiological activity of the body on molecules. Now come to our drug at receptor. These are the different drugs. Drug may be agonist or drug may be antagonist. Now what is agonist and what is antagonist? Difference between agonist. Agonists are those drugs that can activate a receptor to produce an effect similar to that of physiological signal molecule. So usually we are using different type multiple drugs, so especially the drug which have the tendency and ability to activate a receptor to produce an effect similar to that of the physiological signal molecule, while antagonist, or you can say blocker. So these are those drugs which can block or it can prevent the action of the agonist on the receptor but doesn't have an effect of its own. It means that antagonist can reduce or it can stop, block the activity of the agonist. So now there is a competition between agonist and antagonist. So whatever if the agonist become dominant, so it means that the antagonist becomes suppressed. So antagonist can block or stop the activity, while agonist it activate the receptors, while the antagonist it can destimulate and or it can antagonize the effect of the other drugs. Now what is partials? You can say partial agonist. So partial agonist can be defined as partial agonists are those agonists that can activate a receptor to produce a sub-maximal effect but antagonize the action of the full agonist. So it means that partial agonist means it can only activate the receptor to produce maximal effect, but it will antagonize the action of the full agonist. Yeah, it will block the action of the full agonist. Partial agonist. These are partial agonist, not antagonist. It will just you can say antagonize the action of the full agonist. Now what is the difference between agonist with antagonist? You can see here, this is drug and this is receptor. So drug and receptor, so the drug doesn't show any response until it will bind with the receptor. So definitely then it will show effects. Now look at here, this is drug and these are receptors, and it will show maximum effect. So drug, this is equal to complete or full agonist. This is the maximum effect which is shown by after when the drug is bind with the receptor. Here the drug is here is a, you can say the drug is you can say complete or full agonist. So here maximum effect is produced. In this case you can see here especially look at here, maximum effect is produced by the complete or full agonist, while in this case the drug is bind with the receptor, but it produce less than maximal effect, due to partial agonist. Now in third case, the drug is also combined with the receptor, but here the case is the drug is antagonist, so antagonist can block the effect of other drugs. So this is a little bit difference between. So inshallah, in my next lectures, I will discuss about the effects of the combination of the drug, that how it is happen. So inshallah, it will be discussed in my next lecture.